This map is from the Texas Legislative Council, and this is designed just to give you a sense of some of the overlapping nature of districts that exist in the state of Texas. And one of the things to keep in mind is that you're actually represented by a significant number of elected officials, both at the federal and at the state level. Now, obviously, one thing that doesn't change in Texas is the fact that everyone's represented by our two United States Senators, John Cornyn and Ted Cruz. It gets a little more complicated when we drill down to the state and local level. And in particular, one of the reasons we talk about redistricting is because these boundaries change, and what you see are the state Senate districts are outlined in red, so wherever you see a red number, that means it's a state Senate district. And the state House districts are different colors, and everywhere you see a black number, that means that you have a state House district. So you're actually represented by two different people in the legislature. You have your state House representative in the Texas House of Representatives, as well as your state senator. So on your screen, you can see here's Victoria County, where my cursor is, and Victoria County is part of the 30th State House District, which means that Representative Jeannie Morrison, a Republican from Victoria, is the state representative. Move up a little bit here to the northeast in Jackson, Wharton, parts of Fort Bend County. This is the 85th State House District, and this is a district that Phil Stevenson, a Republican from Rosenberg, represents. Up here, this is the 28th State House District, which is Katy and northern parts of Fort Bend County. This is John Zerwas, another Republican. Down here in Matagorda and into Brazoria County, this is Dennis Bonin's district, and he's from Angleton. And then up here, this is the 13th State House District. This is Leighton Schubert. He's from Brenham in Washington County. And the reason I highlight all of these things is because right here in the middle, you see this red number 18. Your state senator is Senator Lois Kolkhorst. And Senator Kolkhorst has responsibility for working with all of these different elected officials. So her job is to carry legislation in the Senate. But when you see the size of the 18th State Senate District, which goes all the way from Burleson County up here, all the way down to Goliad and Refugio counties, including Victoria, but then also stretches into Fort Bend County, there's a significant amount of overlap in these districts. So in order to get things done, and this is why we talk about the party in government, state senators and state representatives need to work together in order to get things done. So as a state senator, Senator Kolkhorst is working with a number of different Republicans, and right here you see a little bit of orange right here. This is actually State House District 27. This is represented by Ron Reynolds, a Democrat. So most of the State House officials in the 18th State Senate District are Republicans, but just a little tiny sliver of the 18th State Senate District is actually a Democratic-held state House seat. So again, what this illustrates is some of the big challenges that legislators face. And when you look at, again, the size of the districts, here's the 18th State Senate District. You have over 800,000 people living in this 18th State Senate District, which is actually larger than some congressional districts in the state in terms of the number of people that you represent. And again, when you're in some of the rural areas of the state, so for example, the 13th State House District here from Burleson to Fayette to Lavaca to Austin counties, the 30th State House District, DeWitt, Victoria, Goliad, Refugio, Calhoun, and Aransas counties, right? And you compare that with one state House district that makes up just a tiny part of Fort Bend County, right? So when you look at Fort Bend County here, you see that Fort Bend County actually has a number of different state House districts. If we zoom in a little bit more, sorry about that, and we kind of go up towards Houston here. This is Harris County, and you see lots of black numbers here indicating all the different state House districts that are in Houston itself. You see several different state Senate districts, the 7th district here on the west side, and then the central part of Houston is kind of divided between the 15th, 13th, and the 6th state Senate districts. So you've got a lot of things that are going on here, and this is one of the things that in some respects is complicated for people to kind of get a handle on, in the sense of the fact that it's sometimes hard to know exactly who represents you at all times. And when you're trying to understand and try to figure out who all your elected officials are, it can be a little bit of a challenge. So what I wanted to do with this presentation, this little short YouTube video, is just give you a sense of the overlapping nature of state house and state senate districts. And it also kind of, when you talk about the will of the people gets combined in different ways. So being a state house district is a little bit different than being a state senate district, which would look a little bit different from a U.S. congressional district, and certainly for United States senators. So lots of different things going on here, but if you've got questions about this, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them.